got a feeling everything's gonna be alright. Come on, Desiree. Be alright, be alright, be alright. Oh, the Holy Ghost done told me everything's gonna be alright. The Holy Ghost done told me everything's gonna be alright. Oh, the Holy Ghost done told me everything's gonna be alright. Be alright, be alright, be alright. Hallelujah.
Hey, thank God for another day. Hey, I know we could be another way. Hey, pray. Thank God for another day. Hey, I know we could be another way. Hey, yeah.
Get up. Listen, let me tell y'all something. First of all, welcome to Jess Ask, the podcast where we create safe spaces for influencers to decompress, have fun, and just ask. It's your girl, Jessica S. Smith, and baby, Desiree.
Hey.
Desiree.
Hey.
Desiree.
Hey, y'all.
I know y'all was wondering, what did y'all enter into?
A safe space.
The safe space to praise them, obviously, because baby, listen, when I tell you, we trying to record and everything, trying to keep us from doing it, okay?
But it ain't.
Listen, let me tell y'all the secret. The secret is the elevator broke. The place we are recording has an elevator, and we had to find stairs that we never found before. But God will always redirect you to get to the place He wants you to be. Amen, baby. Let me tell you something. I learn a story every time something go down. Okay, it's every time something go down. And so the elevator, then the woman of God, we almost didn't get to store the
Almost
what we was gonna record.
Almost,
but almost don't count.
Almost
Thank you.
don't count.
Shout out to Brandy for that. And so now we are here recording, and y'all, we have a very special guest today. A very special guest. I've met this woman. Let's see. I was in my 20s, so it's probably about 5-6 years ago, I think. I don't know, but don't put no time on it. But I've known her for a while, and I'm very proud and excited because she is a ball of surprise. If I had a definition for her, she is a ball of surprise. Because I remember hearing her speak for the first time, and she shook me. She shook me to my core, and I didn't know that was in her. So one thing you can't do is judge a book by its cover, because what was in that book is rich, and I'm telling you the truth. So I am excited to have the author, the counselor, the friend, the mother, the wife, none other than Miss KD Reid. Woo!
Welcome.
Girl, welcome to the safe space. How you feeling, girl?
I'm excited. I am honored, and I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
You ready? Listen, I want to say thank you. Back in I didn't even realize you were a counselor until a mutual person that we know said, I've been going to, I was like, what? I didn't even know. So I was like, it shook me. I just thought you was out here entrepreneuring. I thought you was outside entrepreneuring. So I'm just so happy to have you in this space, KD. And I want to say, first of all, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Like, I'm proud of you. I've seen you evolve. And just, girl, I'm trying to evolve as a single woman. And you got kids. You got a husband. How long y'all been married?
It'll be 19 years and 2 weeks.
Wow.
Did she just say 19?
Her did.
I'm 32. 19?
Yeah.
And people can't stay stuck together for 19 days.
My God.
My God. What's the secret sauce to that, KD?
God.
That part.
God. I remember going through a really dark time where my husband probably should have left me because I was the problem. It was me.
Oh. Hold
I was
up.
the problem, friend. It was me. And I asked him, why did you stay? And he said, only because God told me to. And so now when I tell people that my husband loved the hell out of me, it's literal. It's literal.
You didn't say it a lot just with that one statement. First of all, let's break this down. Let's go back to the fact that you admitted
I was the problem.
that you were the problem. How did you come to that conclusion?
I was honest with myself. When you get to the bottom and you have nowhere to look but up, and you looking at God, God sometimes just shows you a mirror. And I realized I was the problem. I could blame circumstances. I could blame a lot of things because we can justify a lot of things to ourselves. Yeah. But the problem was me. It was me.
That's so good. That, and for one, that is healthy. That is healthy. And I find that like, I don't know, going through this school, right? I find out that going through that process is I'm relearning myself. And it's like, I know I'm the problem here, but how do I manage telling people like I know I'm not the problem there? Like I'm fighting that and that try to not look too prideful. Yeah, I guess with the being a woman of many hats, but not the hat of mother and wife yet, right? And so I can only imagine how hard that was for you to admit. I ain't gonna lie, like sometimes it's not even a pride thing, it's just hard. It's hard. It's just hard to just face yourself. What's the hardest thing that you found being a counselor in your profession, and even being real with yourself, the reason why it's hard to face yourself?
I think because we don't see people do it. I didn't see anyone saying they were the problem. It was hard for me because by the time I realized that in certain situations I was the problem, I was already a counselor. So I was counselor by day and crazy as all get out by night. So that was hard to, that was hard. It was hard for me to acknowledge that I was still helping people, but I wasn't helping myself. I think it's easier for me to say, oh, Jessica, you're the problem, or she's the problem. This job is the problem. Those kids. It's easy to say that. But at some point, you have to ask yourself, what role am I playing? I may not be the whole problem, but it's obvious I'm playing some role because this is happening in every aspect of my life. So what role am I playing? And you don't have to be wrong. For example, I just told somebody the other day, on our jobs, we may speak up, but that may put a target on our back, right? Yeah. You may not be wrong in what you said. You may be wrong in how you said it, where you said it, the fact that you said it. That doesn't mean what you said was wrong. So the presentation is sometimes often. Okay, awful. So you in my business right now, KD, and what we're not gonna do is we're not gonna therapy me today. We just got out of not too long ago what we did mental health. May she is not taking me back there. I've been redeemed. Praise the Lord. Okay. But no, that's so good as far as, because I have been the type that's like, oh well, I said what I said, or you mad because I'm telling you the truth or whatever. And I've learned that was me, the angry side of me, just because I was upset. Even though I might have been right, I still could have had the opportunity to say something different. But also, okay, we're going to have a real moment. So what about the thought of, okay, let's say I'm doing a relationship with you, whether it's friendship, like let's say me and Desiree, right? And I love Desiree because she just handles me differently. Like so if I know I'm in the company of somebody that's heart is pure, but I'm still mad at them, like how do you navigate through knowing somebody and then balancing and having those conversations with, okay, I know who you are, and I didn't like how this happened. Like, because as soon as somebody say, hey, you hurt me or whatever, there's a fence that rise up. And it's like, how do you manage through those type of situations? I think knowing someone's intentions helps, but intention doesn't always matter. So when you're talking to someone, you have to be mindful of the intention that you have, but also the impact that it's going to have on them. You got to say that again. Yeah, be mindful of your intentions, but also the impact that it's going to have on them. Because my intentions may be good, but if I know you, I can pretty much gauge what the impact is going to be on you. So it's 3 I's: your intention, their impact, and then when you are communicating, you make an I statement. So when you did this, I feel blank, not you make me feel blank.
Oh, this is so good.
When you said this, I felt you were, putting me down. Not you always put me down.
And what does the I statement do? Like,
it takes them off the defense. And you're taking responsibility for your feelings.
hold up. I think you just arrested me.
You're taking responsibility. So if you say something that hurts me, I can't say, Jessica, you hurt my feelings. Because that may not be your intention. Like you said, that's going to put that wall up. But if I say, Jessica, when you said this, I felt dismissed. And then you can come in and say, that wasn't my intention, but I understand the impact. And then we can figure out how to say it differently.
What's coming up even when you're saying that, being that because you balance many roles and I balance many roles, I think we can agree to something like things are always happening in multiple roles, right? And you're being affected by something all the time. And so when someone's going through something and being addressed, what's the skills that they need to make sure that they're addressing what the problem is in that role and not bringing everything into that one situation?
That's a good question. I think it requires reflection. And then what are your intentions when you go into this conversation? So I have to reflect on, okay, Jessica made me upset today, but was it what she said? Was it because someone had said this before and she poked a tender spot? Was this because my kids made me late? Like, what was it? You figure that out within yourself first and be honest with yourself. The world always says you got to be honest, you got to be honest, you got to be transparent. And I believe that. But what I believe is that your honesty and transparency is a lot of times just with yourself. I don't have to stand on the stage and be honest and transparent because I need to be honest and transparent with the person in the mirror first. And so if I say, hey, I got to go talk to Jessica about how she made me feel, if I'm honest, I could be like, okay, but she said it on a day that this was happening, and this was happening. So what is the real thing? What is the one thing or what is the target issue? Separate everything else from it.
So give me an example of how that, like, let's say I'm the one that offended you. Mm-hmm. What way would you encourage the outside person to come to somebody like me? So give the people an example because we gonna help the communication because that's what it sounds like we going right now.
I think it depends on what is your relationship with them.
That's right? Good.
And what are your desires? If I desire, so we're in this age of people ghosting people and standing on business, and that can be healthy, but that can also be unhealthy, right?
That is, yeah.
Yeah, so it depends on if I want to continue this friendship, then of course I need to say something because if I don't, those feelings don't go away. It's just push down and push down and push down till I'm in the middle of Publix having a breakdown, right? Because somebody said something else and it triggered all these feelings. So if my goal is to keep the friendship, then I'm going to come to you based off of your personality and based off of my personality. So I may be like, let me text her if we communicate best that way. If we don't communicate well that way, then I need to have a conversation. And again, I'm going to say, hey, Jessica, do you remember the other day? I need to give you a specific example because people don't like general statements. Like, I know the way my mind works. I need a specific example. So I can say, hey, Jessica, do you remember the other day when we was talking about X, Y, and Z? I don't know if you know it, but I really felt hurt. And then that opens the conversation. But when I say, I don't know if you know it, that lets you know that I don't think it's intentional. I just think it needs to be addressed.
So I'm glad you said that part of the example. How do we make giving the examples in a healthy form? Like, how do we narrate that? Because sometimes I know people, I've been in situations where it's like, oh, you're giving me an example, but it feels like a dagger, and it's all this example after this, this example after this example. You ain't told me nothing. You haven't done anything, and it seemed like you held this grudge against me. And so, how do we make it to where it doesn't seem like that, but it's done in a healthy manner? Because it's like you pile all these things on top of this situation, but now all of a sudden now you mad and you want to start exposing stuff. So.
That's why you can't wait too long. You can't wait too long, because if you wait, like say if you don't say how I hurt you,
Yeah.
but then one day I'm telling you how you hurt me, and it may have been yesterday, the day before, then you're gonna be like, oh, well, while we're talking about it, you did this last month and last week. So I believe that you shouldn't wait too long, because it does pile up, and then the other person feels blindsided.
Mm-hmm.
And if I feel blindsided, I've already shut down. Because in my mind, like you said, well, this was last month, and we've been carrying on since then. You haven't said anything. So now my mind is overthinking. All this time you've been thinking this, so I don't think you should let too long pass by.
Okay, I'm finna tell on myself, KD. Because I'm finna tell on myself, listen, they say it hit you first. I'm finna tell on myself, listen, I'm trying to find it. Because I've been in situations, I'm in a current situation now where I'm like, I'm trying to talk and communicate, but then I feel like I'm not encouraged to continue the level of communication that I'm doing, because I'm like, hey, I'm saying this or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's not until like it gets to a heated moment, right? Or a heated opportunity to where I'm finding out certain things, or it's like, you always got something to say, and I'm just like, well, it's not that. I'm trying to release it so that you can know. I'm trying the opposite, because I used to just, oh, okay, bitch. Right. You talk about ghosting. Right. And then don't let it be a woman.
Right.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Don't let it be a woman. I ghost them like like it ain't nothing.
Yeah.
And so how would you say that I guess the other person receiving that, do they sound silent?
Evaluate the relationship.
Yeah, that's probably it. Go ahead.
You probably need to evaluate the relationship, because I'm only going to tell you so many times, and if me communicating to you feels like I'm over communicating, or I'm always saying something, then that's a them problem. Because what happened is they're not listening. They're hearing you, but they're not listening. They're not taking it in, right? And so after I tell you over and over and over, and you're shutting me down, at some point I have to evaluate, are we on the same level of relationship? Mm. You know how like I can be somebody's friend, but they're not my friend? So maybe you need to evaluate the relationship.
Okay, I'm going to take that and I'm going to do the homework.
Especially because you're in a season of elevation. Some of these people can't go with you, friend.
You going to say that on the recorder? Okay, big. and there's a Ray over here, amen, with her head. Like,
because it's hard. Friendships are hard.
Listen.
Friendships are harder than relationships. And I think it's interesting you said women. When I moved back to Alabama in 2015, I didn't like women.
Listen.
I didn't like black women. I probably didn't like the black woman in the mirror, but I ain't unpacked that yet. But I didn't like black women because I had been mishandled so much by them. Mm.
So and it's interesting, and I'm glad we're getting into this. It's interesting. Did I just hear something? Oh, never mind, y'all. I be hearing stuff. All right, so quick. And, Desiree will get on to me. I'll be to mess something up, child. But it's interesting because we share something in common. So our target audience is they're women, and most of them are in the age range between, mine is about like mid 20s to mid 40s. Yours is about to that 30 mark to the mid 40 mark. Yeah. And so it's something about the common denominator is that we said we didn't like women, and now we're called to women. Yeah. Like, at what did you ever have a bucking moment with God against that? Like, how did you end up accepting your call in this area?
So I've been a counselor for 15 years. I've only been specifically called to women for 7, right? And like I said, I didn't like women. So when I realized that's the way I was going, I was like, oh, who am I supposed to get this message to? Because this ain't for me. But what I realized is when I was at my darkest moment and I was depressed and no other woman was really talking about what I was struggling with, and I would ask them, and they would say, yeah, I dealt with that. I was angry again because they weren't talking about it. And it was in that moment I accepted the call, because I vowed that not another woman that I had access to or who had access to me would suffer alone.
That's so good. And so I can't negate the fact that you probably haven't experienced hurt from women even after the fact you accept your call, how did you manage that differently? Like, what was the first way that you managed it, and then how are you managing those heartbreaks?
Yeah, definitely happened after the fact. For me, it happens a lot at work, in different work environments. I try to see them differently, like what they've been through, what they're bringing with them, what they saw, right? So a lot of them were mistreated by women, or a lot of them were isolated by women, or a lot of them were back bit by women.
Yeah.
Right. So I try to think of it that way. It's not easy. Because Lord, it ain't easy.
So basically, I'm about to try to use a big word, y'all. Watch this. So basically, you saying that the word that's coming up in my head genuinely is the socioeconomic. I think that's the word. I think how you say that.
Socioeconomic.
Yeah, like I think that's the word where it's like your background has, or the things that you're a part of affects the way you respond to certain things. And so that's the word that's coming up. Yeah, I tried to use a big word, but it didn't work. Obviously, fail, epic fail. Won't do that again. But no, I really agree with that, because I love my mom dearly, and at this point, we have freedom to talk about where we have come from, because now I mean I love my mom so much, and I know that she loves me. But there was a point in time where I didn't think that, right? I think I'm probably only a couple years in thinking that she actually likes me, if I can be transparent. And so, being called to women, because I was like, God, I just want to open. I don't want to do gender and all that stuff like that. But it's majority women. One reason I think is because women are just at their age. Yeah, they are so ready.
Yes,
like they ready. They like, listen,
something happens at that age.
Listen,
when I got to 25, you couldn't pay me to go back below it. When I got to 30, you couldn't pay me to go back to my 20s. And now that I'm 41. And look, 18. You couldn't pay me to go back. Like, you just could not. I feel like at 25, I had my first child at 25, 26. So really 30 is when my transformation changed. When I realized that I'm a person. I'm not just a mom and wife. Like, I'm a whole person out here, you know. But even, I think a lot of us, and I mean Black women, have mother-daughter stories. Yeah. We have women's stories. You know, I think that there is a lot culturally that feeds into that. And that's a lot that we carry that goes unspoken until it's triggered by somebody.
So basically you're saying we bury it.
If we even know it's there, yeah. Yeah.
That's so good. I think that is a good connector to your new book. Make this a clip. Make it a gym. If y'all can't see me on Apple and Spotify, I am slapping the book up in the air. It's called Beyond Someone Something, a guide to self-discovery for every woman trapped in labels. Let's get into this because I think the part where it says every woman's trapped in a self-discovery for every woman's trapped in labels. So what's the heartbeat behind this?
So when I started working with women, it was after a time where I felt like I had lost myself, right? Like I knew how to be, I had one daughter at the time. I knew how to be her mom. I knew how to be his wife. I knew how to be an amazing employee, but I didn't really know who I was. And so my foundation wasn't steady. And so I broke, right? And that's when I started talking to other women and saying, hey, did you deal with this? Because if you don't know, this is why community is so important. If you don't know other people are dealing with something, you feel like you're broke. You feel like you're broken. You feel like you're the issue, right? And the title came from, I was talking to a client one day about her identity. Like, let's figure out what your identity is. And she said to me, she said, I don't know. Like, I have always been his fiance, his wife, their mom, his daughter. And I've never not been, I've only been somebody something. And when she said it, I said, those are the words that go with this movement.
I've only been someone something. And so what I'm understanding that this book helps me break away from someone something and know that I am
your own person. You are not just, and I know you're a PK just like me, right?
Yeah.
So, when you go to church, they be like, oh, that's Ken's daughter. Right? Mm-hmm. Or if you go out and about, that's Kendall's sister.
Oh, yeah.
Or that's so-and-so's whatever, But outside of those, who are you? Outside of the titles that we love, who are you? Because if those titles are stripped today, a lot of us don't know who we are. A lot of us, if you meet somebody and say, hey, who are you? They're gonna list off labels. I'm the manager here. I'm her mom. I'm his wife. And they're not going to say who they are because sometimes they don't know who they are.
Okay, so take me down this path because I don't know. I don't even know how to, Desiree, do you know how to answer that? Like without saying, because I love her spiel. She'll go, I'm a licensed cosmetologist. I'm a producer. I'm a photographer. I'm this, I'm that. Yeah. And I'm saying, because I'm just getting to the point where I'm comfortable with saying, hey, I'm a podcaster. I was going to say I'm a meteorologist. Well, I am not no meteorologist. I am, what am I? Goodness, a mediator? Not a mediator. Well, I have been. A moderator. My
there
God. See, moderator. I can't even think about it.
I didn't know what you were saying. She's a moderator.
I'm just kidding. Y'all, I promise you I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm getting it together. But yeah, so I'm finally getting to a place where I'm coming to agreement with it. But what you're telling me is that asking me is when am I beyond that?
Mm-hmm. And so those things are fine. Those things are amazing. But who is Jessica?
So give me an example, KD. Like, who is KD?
So who is KD? And this was very hard for me when I first did it because I'm never going to do something or ask someone to do something that I haven't done.
Yeah.
So I had to really dive deep and say that she's caring, she's humble, she's successful, she's kind, she's innovative, and more and more and more.
And more and more and more. Listen, so there's a chapter that basically you go this versus that, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm almost scared to read. That's right. I'm about to ask you to read. I can't ask Desiree to read right now. She over there producing and inducing. Okay, I'm gonna ask you to read, KD. It's the resilient versus strong, and I want us to get into that.
Okay. And that came about because people always identify us as strong women.
Yeah.
Strong Black women. And people identify themselves as that, right? And what I realized is when people say that, it's in the context of you shouldn't break. You can handle all the things.
Before you start talking this good, read the excerpt. Okay. So I won't mess up these words.
Resilient versus strong. As women, especially African American women, we are often labeled as strong. By definition, strong means able to withstand great force or pressure. The unspoken connotation of being strong is that you can handle any and everything someone brings your way. Being labeled as strong can be exhausting and not allow you space to be weak or vulnerable at times, often to your detriment. A better word would be resilient. By definition, resilient means able to withstand or recover quickly from difficult situations. Able to recoil back into shape after stretching or being compressed. A resilient woman is a woman who experiences the things of life, and although she may be down at times, she may need to pause, she may need to step away. She does not break, and she will adapt when she is able. She will return back to herself.
I think that's a powerful excerpt. And the reason why, just like you were saying, we pride ourselves, especially Black women. And this is, man, we pride ourselves on, I'm a strong Black woman. I just said it today. It's like, I don't need you, or I don't need this person, or I don't need that person. Like, I literally just said this, like, even to the point where we get to saying, some of us have said, I don't need a man, I desire one, but it's like, oh no, I got goals. And I can't have these goals like being a wife. I need a man for that.
Mm-hmm.
Being a mother, I need a man for that, right? And so when you get to these places and you get to these spaces of I'm so strong, I don't need. I think that might be a danger zone.
I would think so.
Let's get into
I
what.
would think so.
Let's get into why we're like that, and another thing is how do we come from out of that?
Okay. We're like that because of culture. We've in the past, women, Black people as a community have had to be strong, right? Mm-hmm. They have had to do all the things. They have had to show up in all the places. They have had to not show weakness because weakness could tear down their family or weakness could tear down their community. But we're not there anymore, right? Mm-hmm. We're at a place where we can choose different. We're at a place now where we can choose different. I'm big on women knowing they can make a choice, right? And your choice, we can make the same choice. It doesn't have to look the same. So I always tell women, you can choose whatever hat you want to wear. Wife, mom, sister, brother, employee, entrepreneur, whatever hat. Mm-hmm. Our hats could be the same, like you and I are both entrepreneurs, but our journeys look different, right? Mm-hmm. So we can both have the same hat and it be a different color. And then whenever that hat no longer serves you, you don't have to keep it on. You can take it off. They didn't have that privilege back then. We have a different life now.
I'm so glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that because I don't know who I was listening to, who I was talking to. I can't remember. But I was having a conversation on the fact that the times are different, mm-hmm. right? And it was Minister Bianca. Shout out to Minister Bianca. Now she got me going. She basically said, because we were talking about the church, and we negate the traditions of the church from back in the day, but it was what worked for them. And God has just elevated us and called us to a different space, right? Yes. And so we can't knock or negate the things that worked.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
And so how do we know... how do we balance the appreciation of needing to be what they were mm-hmm. back in the day and then value what we have now?
We can validate that worked for them and honor the fact that they have got us to this place where we can make a different choice. So you were talking earlier about women, when they say they don't need a man. And, one of the things I really hate to see on social media is when men say things like, why can't you be like my grandmother? Why can't y'all be like Big Mama used to be? The reality is, number one, we don't know if she was happy. We don't know if she enjoyed her life. But what we know is that's the life she had, right? And she had to show up in that way. She had to accept a lot of things from men that we're not doing. Mm. She had to give up a lot of her dreams. If she even had, like that, they had to be strong back then. So we're never taking that away from them. I honor them for that. And I honor them that their strength got us to this point where we don't have to be strong. We can be resilient, right? Because if I say that I'm strong, the connotation is that you're going to put all this stuff on me. You're not going to respect my feelings because you believe, oh, she's strong. She can deal with all this. I'm not going to check on her. I'm going to expect her to continue to pour into me. We ain't got to check on Jessica. She good. She got a podcast. She don't need us. Or I'm not going to share her post because she's got other people that'll share it.
KD.
What happened?
KD, you about to... KD.
Sometimes things just come up and out,
KD.
I'm sorry.
Because I'm not... Okay, so let's get into it. Since we there. Since we got time. We got time, Desiree. We got time. Because that's probably the most irritating thing. The most irritating thing. And I've seen myself... Let me calm my voice down. I've seen myself... If y'all can't tell, I'm really passionate about that. That triggered me. I'm not saying.
No. I get it. Let me tell you, I get it. When they. Okay. Okay.
Let's start this. This is not a rant. This is the truth.
No, this is true because these are things that women deal with, right? Yeah. So we have to learn as women, as Black women. There's a lot of things we have to unlearn. And like you said, this is not a rant, but these are things that we deal with which add to us losing our identity, because if we placed our identity, our validation in what other people do or don't do, that can take us to a place of brokenness, right? And so I remember when they announced that you was going to talk for my good auntie.
Hey, auntie.
The excitedness, is that a word?
The excitement. We can just go. It's going to be a word today, though. But
that I felt was so overwhelming from 75 miles away, right? And I had text my good friend, you know, your sister. And I said, let's go into prayer. Baby, I don't know why I said that, because my daddy the preacher, not me, but I felt it. I said, somebody is not happy. Somebody close to her is nitpicking. Oh, she don't technically live in Birmingham, been here her whole life, but you know, people nitpick. And what I thought about in that moment was how, as women, we can be up and people feel like that their actions against us don't matter because, oh, she's strong. She don't need me to share this one little post. Or now she up there with Miss Tabitha. She don't need me to support her down here. And because she's strong, they feel like subconsciously, I can say what I want to about her because she's strong. She's going to be okay.
she got her little podcast. Her little podcast. She
And
got
the
that
plot
little
twist
delivery.
is she is going to be okay. But we have to be very mindful that people will, if you want the person you are at the place you are now, and who knows what silent times and secret moments look like, but we could allow the lack of support from people, the lack of care, compassion, because people identify us as strong and they feel like they don't have to show up for us the way we show up for them, but you know, it's another story. We could allow that to break us. That's why you have to know who you are. Because once you know who you are, and you're not just somebody something, you can push through and be resilient. You can have that moment of quiet where you're crying and sad and frustrated because you saw them share everybody's post but yours. You know, and people say it shouldn't be that deep. It's not even about you sharing my post. It's about, but why? Because I would for you. And so when you are beyond someone something, you got to hold yourself to a higher standard. You can't expect you from anybody else. And that's one of the hardest lessons I had to learn. That's why I say friendships and associateships and all those things are harder than relationships.
Yeah.
Because as women, I love Black women now, and I loved them then before, you know, and I wanted to be associated.
Yeah.
Right? But being associated with some people took a part of who I was. Because people will discount you and people will assume
KD.
that you are a part of this group. But what they didn't know and what I didn't know was I was beyond that. Not in I think I'm better than you, but I know who I am now and I know whose I am. So I don't need to be your something. I am beyond somebody something. But that was a long, hard road to travel with many tears, many hard swallows, many questions of why. Because when you don't do anything but pour into people and people don't pour back into you, the feeling that you will feel until you figure out who you are. If my friend doesn't pour into me the way I pour into her and the way I see her pour into other people, until I know who I am, that breaks me. That breaks me. But I want to say this to you and anyone else. Listen, God will change your circle quickly. Because I read a post yesterday that in October, I felt the Holy Spirit all through my body. And he said, start your new year now. And I said, I'm glad I said it out loud. I said, something is changing. Right? I was tired. Something was changing. And now 8 months later, to other people, it looks like I'm the same. But I know it feels different, right? So you can find out who you are at this point, and then later you find another piece of who you are. You know, you're constantly growing.
Yeah.
So who I am now, the people God has in my circle now, give to me as much as I give to them.
Yeah.
And for me, that was difficult.
To receive?
Girl. When I say
girl. Ask Desiree. No, like we have this continual, it's not a problem. I think we've come to an agreement, maybe.
What kind of problem?
Well, it's not a problem. Why
She put her mic out.
What kind of situation? What you talking about?
What I'm saying is, like, I know it's more so. Well, shoot, it's you too. Like, we're not gonna act like, you know, like you,
That's
but
what
like
I'm-
just
that's what
on
we
the
talking
point of receiving.
Oh,
Yeah. Now she
said, "Oh."
She said, "Oh." Now she get it. So the point of receiving, because both of us have been like, I know mine's was relational, but hers was just like how she grew up. Like, I got to do this for myself because I don't want to ask for anything. I was just didn't feel the openness to ask, and then I felt like the only thing that I was good for was giving. Like, and so meeting her and doing a relationship with her, and then some of my other friends, like, I got a good circle. Like, I know now some of my circle be making me upset, being like, you be so busy and you, baby. Listen, but we've had the conversation and said, all right, please don't say I'm busy. I know my calendar's full, but if we go ahead and put some on my calendar, I promise you I'm gonna honor it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm gonna honor it. And
So am I busy or are you not respecting my time? Because you wasn't busy today, but that's because I had already respected your time and booked this time. So I'm not busy. I'm just not always available. Don't let them people make you feel like you're busy. See, sometimes being beyond something means being beyond their definition of you. You outgrow people's definition of you because, yes, you knew me then. The person, I can't say that on here. Okay. Yes.
we'll say it afterward because I know where you're going. Okay.
I mean, dang.
Do you see? Do am I cut?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Is it drip? I'm gonna hold my hand right here.
Don't do that.
Ooh.
Don't do that.
You know how somebody, how Ali just knocked the heck out of people. That was an Ali punch right there. Wow.
We can't allow people to discount us. Jessica, how many times do I message you saying, you make me feel so seen?
You have.
Now, what if I said, oh, she can't tell me nothing, baby. She ain't married and ain't got no kids. She can't tell me nothing. But you can't discount somebody. You can't have a definition of somebody.
That's so.
It's at least 4 times this year alone where I've been like, did you tell Jessica to say this to me? And she just posted online. It was really for me.
So when you say that, and thank you, because for one, that people act like they don't need affirmation, confirmation. My affirmation comes from the Lord. My confirmation comes from the Lord. It's from the Lord. Oh, y'all get on my nerves, okay? KD, Desiree, am I lying?
They be overly, people be overly religious.
Folks be want everything from Jesus and don't want things that Jesus left on earth.
My God.
Like, they don't. We too spiritual to have earthly help.
Yep.
Thinking that
Yes.
God doesn't use the
Yes.
dominion that we have here to gratify or
Yes.
solidify things that we need. But anyway, that's a story for another day. But the moments like that are so appreciated. Like when and it's a few other people that have reached out to me and said, man, thank you. Man, please don't stop what you're doing. Cause to be honest, you had gripped my neck so good because I have had moments. You can ask Desiree, I had moments like, you know what? Is this really it? Because not only am I doing a podcast, but I'm going live on TikTok. I'm really trying to live this thing out like I believe God is trying to get me to do. And it's not easy. Like, it's something that I never thought I would have done before.
Yeah.
And then to be ghosted by people that you thought that would be supportive of you. The sharing, like you said, it's not about the sharing. Why is everybody sharing but you? And I thought this was what you were to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm blindsided because
Yes.
it looks like I'm the only one. You're the only one that benefited out of this relationship. Because I gave like hell. You know
And
what
we
I'm
can't
saying?
pretend that doesn't hurt.
Man.
We are human. That hurts. That hurts.
So how do it? Because we always want to provide a practical solution.
Absolutely.
Because I don't want to leave on a
Absolutely.
note where it's like, oh, she was complaining, baby.
We're gonna free the people.
We're gonna free the people and we're gonna free me.
Yes.
Free Jess Ask. free Jess Ask, because I ain't lying to nobody. What steps would you encourage me to take as I go through this path of not only self-discovery, but I found out what I'm supposed to be doing, and the support that I thought I had is not there.
Yeah. Feel the feelings. Feel exactly what you feel. Allow yourself to feel it, right? And not push it, because we will push through feelings so fast because we feel like it's not that big a deal, or I shouldn't feel this way. Feelings aren't good or bad. They just are what you feel based off of the experience.
That's so good.
So feel the feelings, right? And then have your moments privately. So like with your Desirees or with your other friends or whoever, because you need to process what you feel. And you need to know your feelings are valid. Our feelings are valid. They're valid. We can feel it, and it's okay. And then be open. Be open to, this was something someone said to me, and it didn't make sense, but it makes a lot of sense now. Be open to your support coming from unknown places.
Wow.
Unknown places. When
Wow.
I get clients and they say, I found you on Facebook and I've been following you, first thing I say is, I'm glad I don't act a fool on Facebook. The first thing I say.
Listen.
And then I'm like, wow, I had a book signing recently. And this will be I'll tell you two situations about this. I had a book signing recently. Number one, let me tell you how God will change your circle. I had a book signing, and I'm not big on events because you don't know who's going to come.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. And my friend was like, I don't care if it's me and you there. We're going to celebrate. Right? And I said, I don't even know if I should pay for this, because you know how you get to your budget. If I pay for this, I got to sell this, She was like, check your cash out. I said, okay, I'm all about checking cash out, baby. She had sent me the money to reserve the building and pay the extra. It was extra like $50, I think, for the barista to be there. She had paid it. She had sent it to me.
Oh, wow.
And then she said, go cry, because she know her friend. Baby, she know her friend was finna be on the floor. She know her friend. Now, I would do that for somebody. But to have that done for me, then she was like, and then I need you to give me 10 books because I got to send it to Iyanla and Oprah and name all these folks, girl. Not only did she say it, it is done. Now, Oprah may never touch my book, but that's okay. My friend bought it at full price and asked for a discount and sent it on over there.
Come on, friend.
Right? And so we went to the book signing, and it may have been 6 people there, but when I tell you it was the most amazing time, this same friend, y'all, showed up with flowers and a cake, all kind of stuff. I was shocked.
Wow.
But there was a lady there, and to this day, Jessica, I can't tell you who she was or where she know me from. She said she's not on social media. I don't know where she was, or I don't know. But you have to be mindful and open that support will come from outside places.
That part. I just met a young lady. Shout out to Liz Speaks. I recently did an interview with her. I can't wait for it to be seen. But I met her on Instagram, and she started following me. And I followed her back, and I was like, me and her kind of doing the same thing as far as motivational speaking, podcasts, or whatever. She's in the music scene, and her spirit, man, it's like when I did the interview with her, it was like talking to like somebody I knew for years. Yeah, it was like, and she was like, one of the things that she liked about me the most, and she appreciates me about me the most, was that I support her. I was like, I support you. She was like, girl, you be sharing my stuff. You be commenting, you be liking. She's like, some of my friends won't even bring up, oh my gosh, I can't believe you went viral, or they won't even bring it up. And the thing is like, yeah, I might know something, but do you see me?
Do you see me?
Or are you too intimidated by what's going on? Baby, she tired. I was like, KD little girl in here, she's knocked out.
I was trying to get Desiree's attention to see, can I go over there? Do I need to wake the baby up?
It's raw. It's raw. We finna wrap up anyway, because baby, go take that child to bed.
She done spent the week with her grandma and my baby tired.
Oh.
But she was so excited. She has watched your podcast. Like my kids watch stuff with me.
What?
And so she was so excited. Let me say, she asked me, "You gonna be on that couch?" I said, "How you know Jessica got a couch?"
Oh, wow.
How you know? Because my child watches what I watch on TikTok, and she follows the people I follow.
Oh,
and so to my child, this is big. To me, this is big, y'all. Like I can't even start talking about Jessica and I start crying in here. But so this is big to her. So she over there snoring,
out.
But today, her mama is a celebrity.
Hey!
Listen. So I'm believing that Desiree gonna work some magic and y'all ain't gonna hear, but still.
Baby, even if it is, baby, we keep it raw and real. That's why I said something. I was like, all of us trying to like, and Desiree started to adjust her earphones. Like, am I hearing something? But it's okay, baby. When you see this, just know that you are mounted up for greatness. The fact that she's in the atmosphere, and that's the thing about being able to put your children, giving them the evidence that it can happen, right? And so the fact that she's seeing you do it, that means she has the abilities and the push to go beyond where you go. So I love when the kids. I'm not offended that she's snoring. She tired. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
And I want her to see black women getting along. Like you said, you and the lady you just met. We hold on too long to friendships because of time. Other than time, what are you holding on for? If you can't identify 3 things other than time, other than longevity, what you're holding on for, let it go. Is it easy? Is it going to feel good? No. But if you don't, this has always happened to me. If you don't leave when you know you need to leave, something will happen. And God's going to make you so uncomfortable in that friendship.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, I should have left earlier. And he's going to replace them with people that are going to exponentially push you to a place. And then the people, let me show you the perfect example of this, Pastor Mike. I don't care if people like Pastor Mike or not.
PMJ?
Yeah. It's nothing about his story that doesn't speak to me. When he says it's hard, he gets sad often because people here in Birmingham don't support him sometimes. But it's because they know. It's like people say, I started out with Jessica. How she get so much ahead? Because she worked, girl.
I'm about to throw this red mic.
Listen, because she worked and she invested time, talent, money. And the sad part is we want to bring them with us, but we can't.
Because that's not a lie.
You can't.
That is not a lie.
I know.
You are telling the truth.
My business coach just told me, stop trying to pull people to the mountaintop and you ain't even got there yet. The people that's supposed to come with you to the mountaintop, you don't have to pull them. They're pushing you.
And the gag is that this is the way I can get you there. That's
that part.
I have a platform that I could put you on.
They don't want to be on your platform. They want to have the platform. They don't want to do the work. They want you to set this up, pay for this, and move out the way and let them come and be on the red mic. That's what they want.
That's what Ray said. If I turn around,
that's what they want.
One more time.
They don't understand. And you know what else we struggle with? And this might just be my business. It might be yours. I don't know. Imposter
syndrome. You see how I tagged in on it? Child.
So we do need the validation, and it's affirmation. I realize that my love language outside of business is not words of affirmation. My love language in business is words of affirmation. If I say something to you, I mean it on a deep level. If someone's like, I need those words of affirmation in business, because this entrepreneur journey is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
That I can't even explain. I don't care if you part-time, full-time, one day. You learn so much about yourself and other people on this journey. So much about yourself and other people. Man. If you wrote a book today, an ebook on how to start a podcast, and you gave it away, they ain't gonna read it. They don't want you to do that. They want you to set this up and then leave, and then they want to come up here and work with Desiree, and they won't do that. No, they won't.
Well, I'm gonna stop this because we didn't hit an area that I think we could talk to. So I guess in this space, even now, I think that the encouragement needs to be women make room for the support, and not this fake stuff that we see is like, oh well, yeah, it's cute to do it because this is my sister. No. Like, be supportive. I don't need a camera to support Desiree. Desiree got an event coming up. And more events that she gonna be pushed out into, but we gonna get to that later. Do you think I'm not gonna have no headset or be writing down paper, or you know what I'm saying? Like, exactly. It was like, and then I had to ask. It was so funny. I had to ask. I said, she sent me the information. I said, may I help you with this? Because I had to ask her because she be tripping sometimes. She was like, I guess. Yeah. Oh, okay. So we had to be able to understand that, like, I'm asking you, but I'm kind of like telling you that I'm gonna
Right,
show up and be
right,
an aid, right?
Right. Let me know what you need.
Let me
to
know
do.
because this your show.
That's it.
You number 2 here. I'm number 2 there. I know when to be
Listen,
number 2.
listen.
I know, and then because I had to learn how to be number 1 because I was too afraid of it. But because I need number 2, I need my number 2 for covering. She ain't just producing; she covering me. You know what I'm saying? And then vice versa. Hey, Desiree, do you see this little house? Oh, I ain't realized that. And then watch this. Being number 2 puts you in a position to see things that you had never seen before.
That you had never seen before.
You have never seen before.
Yes.
I do this well because I know how to be number 2.
That part.
Just as
That
simple
part,
as that.
yes.
I don't have to be number 1 all the time. Like I cannot wait to serve certain people because I've already been in deals. Hey, I know you said I'm speaking here, but how can I come serve?
Right.
Beyond that, because
Right.
I get to see something.
Oh, when you
that
serve,
other people don't get to see.
you get to see it from a whole different standpoint. My favorite person that's number 2 is CJ. He's with ET with Eric Thomas.
Oh, that's my coach.
Listen. I said, is this the Lord saying I should just be a permanent number 2? But I learned so much from their dynamic.
Yeah.
Not even the content. I love their content, but just their dynamic. Oh,
Man, girl, we could go all day, but I want to say thank you so much,
Thank
KD.
you.
And since you watch the shows, you know the last question I asked, if there's anything that was left unsaid, if you had to leave, if they didn't hear anything that you said today, what would you want to leave the viewers with?
I want the people to know that you can make any decision you desire. And when that decision no longer serves you, you can make another decision.
Okay, that just hit me. Desiree looked at her again. Desiree, get your mic. Say what you need to say in the mic. She don't even want that
She
was
said, give yourself permission to change your mind.
yeah. It's okay.
That's it.
That was for me.
Yeah.
That was for me. Man, KD, I appreciate you for coming in.
appreciate
Man,
you.
I'm so proud of you and I'm grateful
Thank you. I'm
to
proud
know
of you.
who you is.
That's right. We gotta know who we are,
is.
girl. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Y'all, Desiree, I love you. I appreciate you. Hey, y'all, like, comment, and subscribe. People ask how they can support. Like, comment, and subscribe. That's free.
Do it.
It's free. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. But until next time, remember, life could be much more simple if you just ask.